Now we've turned 18 and feel all grown up, it's perhaps fitting that this month we're casting our minds back right to the very beginning of our journey with a sequel to RuneScape's first ever quest. However, that's just a taster compared to February's main course. Are you ready for the arrival of the third and final outing in our epic Elite Dungeons Trilogy, the Shadow Reef? Also on the way this month are some great new cosmetics and some less obvious but actually very cool improvements to how we build quests. Oh, and a tiny little thing called Double XP Weekend. Yes, it's that time once again. Double XP kicks off on February the 22nd and runs until February the 25th, offering delicious XP returns for RuneScape members, although non-members also have a reason to cheer with a 20% XP boost. If you have not done so already, and even if you have, Double XP is also the perfect time to get stuck into the mining, smith and rework. Twice the XP for every bit of ore mined and every weapon forged, yes please. The third and final entry in the epic Elite Dungeons Trilogy is nearly upon us, and at long last it's time to face the Ambassador. By now, you've likely conquered the sandy pillars and steps of the Temple of Amanishi and successfully traversed the burning depths of the Dragonkin Laboratory. But even if you haven't, the time has come to take the plunge and tackle the watery challenge of the Shadow Reef. This story-driven adventure takes you to the realm of the dreaded Ambassador. Although he is just one of 3 bosses and loads of mini-bosses, all of whom are voiced, that players will have to face if they are to emerge triumphant. Also, look out for the mini-boss named by a charity auction winner. We suspect you'll know it when you see it. Players must descend ever deeper into this multi-leveled underwater abyss and prevent a ritual designed to summon an ancient evil to Gielinor. Successful adventurers can lay claim to a new Tier 92 two-handed crossbow, free pets and free sigils among other new things, and those who have been paying close attention to the narrative threads weaved through the Elite Dungeons thus far may find a few loose ends being tied up. Also keep an eye out for our special Elite Dungeons video releasing on YouTube on February the 22nd, which will recap all the Elite Dungeon fun so far and give new starters an encouraging nudge in the right direction. To get started on the Shadow Reef, head on to the Boast east of Daemonheim. There are no level requirements, although be warned that the combat is aimed at higher levels. Note that you no longer have to complete any of the Elite Dungeons to access the others, although there are bonuses available to those who complete each dungeon in consecutive order. We're also introducing a new spotlight mechanic that sees one of the 3 Elite Dungeons offering additional bonuses each day on rotation, and the Shadow Reef will be launching on February the 25th. We want to correct a very grave oversight. Ladies and gentlemen, we're guilty of gross negligence. We have knowingly created a world in which cheesecake does not exist. For nearly 2 decades, the fine denizens of Gielinor have been forced to endure this injustice, but now our new quest, Chef's Assistant, is here to right this wrong. Cook's Assistant was the first ever RuneScape quest, released way back in 2001. Back then, players were helping to make a birthday cake for Duke Horatio. Chef's Assistant works along the same lines, with players helping the head chef to perfect a new recipe for a top secret dessert to show off at the next Cooks, Apprentices and Kitchen Expert Society meeting, cheesecake. Chef's Assistant is relatively short and combat free. One does not fight when cheesecake is involved. It is a free-to-play quest that is available to all players with access to the Cooks Guild. Once your cheesecake skills have been mastered, you'll be able to make 6 different varieties, some of which make use of the flavoured milks from player-owned farm. They offer prayer restore and healing effects, plus some very cheesecakey post-quest content, and of course, a new achievement to grab. To get started, players must have firstly completed Cook's Assistant, which we're presuming you've already done, and then simply head over to the Cooks Guild and speak to the head chef to begin the quest. Chef's Assistant launches on February the 11th. Those with a penchant for fashion will also want to keep a close eye on Treasure Hunter this month. Crystal Capsules will offer the first chance to get hold of the new Shadow Gem helmets and weapons, along with Death Touch darts and assorted sizable large cash prizes. Look out for that from the week beginning February the 7th. Also, keep your eyes peeled for Boneyard, which will, for the first time, offer both the Bone Master outfit and the Skeletal Bear Pet. These arrive on the week beginning February the 28th. February also sees the introduction of several under-the-hood changes to how we put our quests together. The impact for players won't be immediate or huge, but it'll make the lives of our developers a little easier and allow them to better bring their fantastic ideas to life. Alongside this are a few tweaks and tucks to how quests operate in-game. Changes so far include better quest sorting, for example, including by start area, release date, quest series, chronological order, and combat difficulty. More information on the quest overview screen, and improvements to the Wild Gothic Sleeps and Children of Bar quests. We're over the moon about how many of you have joined this year's Premier Club. We have had good news for those of you who have yet to take the plunge. Due to popular demand, we have extended the opportunity for you to grab 2019's Gold Premier Club package. The Bronze and Silver Premier Club packages will still be unavailable from February the 4th. Also landing shortly are the introduction of Farmhands and an animal barn to play your own farm. The former will be purchasable with beans and will help look after your pens, while the latter will give you much needed space to store your animals. That's it for this month, other than to remind you to join us for our month ahead live stream on February the 5th, our Q&A live stream on February the 12th, and our Elite Dungeons story live stream on February the 19th. You can also check out all of our RuneScape live streams on Twitch. And that'll do it for February. And much like my hair, we hope it flies by very quickly. Boom. There you go. How's that? Does that work?